Hello everyone and welcome to Chessington World Adventures here at our Antics lawn. My name is Jack and I'm here to talk to you guys about our amazing owls. So as you can see, our owl here today we have is Boobo. Boobo is our Mackinder's eagle owl and he is our biggest owl we have here at Chessington. So when it comes to Boobo, he is an African species and his diet can range anything up to mice, rats to meerkats and young baboons. So his diet is pretty much anything really. And he weighs up to roughly around 1.3 kilos. So when Boobo arrived here at Chessington, he was only a little owlet, and he was also imprinted here. If you don't know what imprinted means, you pretty much think that Boobo is more of a human than he thinks he's an owl. So he is not scared of the typical things owls are normally afraid of. So he's not afraid of all the rides that are happening around Chessington. He's not afraid of seeing random objects fly around. And of course he's not afraid of screaming children, and that is because he thinks he's more of a human than he thinks he's an owl. So what we are here doing today we are doing a bit of free flight training. So what that just consists of is Boobo going from that log to Kevin's hand, and in doing so he will get rewarded for it. So today he is getting fed, I believe it is baby chicks today, so it's a really good high in protein for him. So you might see as well, while Boobo is flying, a little line coming down from his foot. That line is what we call a credence line. So we put that on our owls every time they come out to fly here, because the birds you see around Chessington, so our jackdaws, seagulls and crows, they are not a big fan of our owls, and our owls are not a big fan of them. So we keep him on this credence line, so Kevin here has full control of Boobo, so if he needs to be safe, Kevin can easily help him out very quickly. And you might as well see on Kevin's arm, he has a nice little falconry glove. This falconry glove helps protect Kevin's arm and hands from Boobo's sharp talons. This is because he is what we call a bird of prey. Bird of prey simply means that they like to catch their prey by their feet. So their talons are very sharp and very strong. So when it comes to Mackinder's eagle owls, their grip strength is 750 per square inch. Very, very strong. And an average male human's grip strength is only 120 per square inch. So just imagine how strong their grip strength is there. So when it does come to owls, there are lots and lots of myths about these animals. So much myths that go on around the world that people start to believe these myths. So I'm here today to talk to you guys about the most common myths, and hopefully you guys get a better understanding. So the first myth is the most common and most myth that people have heard of, and that is owls can turn their heads 360 degrees. This is completely false. It is not true. Owls can't turn their heads 360 degrees, but they can turn it 270 degrees, which is 3/4 of the way round. And the reason why they can do that is because they've got more vertebrae in their necks than we do. So we have 7 vertebrae in our necks. Owls decided to double it and make it 14. That is what makes them able to turn their heads all the way around. And another reason why they had to turn their heads all the way around is because their eyeballs do not fit in a rotating socket like ours do. So our eyeballs are like an oval shape, so we can move it up and down, left to right without moving a single body part. For owls, this is completely impossible. They cannot move their eyeballs alone. That is why they're constantly moving their heads to see what is going on. So as you can see, Boobo is demonstrating to us now. So this does leave him vulnerable to his predators. So owls in the wild, their predators can be other owls, other bigger birds, and any mammal or carnivores that lurk on the floor. So Boobo, he won't need to worry about any other owls or birds, because as you can see himself, he's a really big bird and a big owl. So he doesn't need to worry so much about the sky above, but he does need to worry about the floor down below, because all of those animals such as lions coming around trying to hunt them down, he has to be extremely careful. But again, he shouldn't really be spending most of his time on the floor. He should be perched up on the trees where owls normally should be. So with owls' eyesight as well, it's a very weird thing when it comes to owls' eyesight. So they can't see very close up, but they can see extremely far away. So if you were to put a hand in front of an owl, right in front of its eyeballs, it probably won't be able to see it. But you put it really, really far away, you will be able to see it as clear as day. So with owl, they have long vision, not short vision. So the next myth that a lot of people probably heard is from a little saying, old wise owl. What an old wise owl he is. This again is false. In the nicest way, owls aren't very wise at all. They're in a way very stupid type birds. Sorry to say it, Boobo, but the reason why I say that is because of the size of their brain. The size of their brain is so small their eyeballs are in fact bigger. So owls' eyeballs are worth 5% of their body weight, so that makes their brains extremely tiny. So that is why they're not very clever animals. So if you were to try and have an owl and try and do tricks with him, you will not get any progress whatsoever. Your owl would just look at you and be like, what are you doing? Just give me food. This is all I'm here for. I don't want to do these tricks. Do I look like a dog? No, just give me food. So you'll spend all your lifetime trying to do these tricks with an owl and you'll get no progress whatsoever. So I believe that is Boobo's time now. Does everyone want to give a round of applause for Boobo? I think he does deserve it. Thank you so much, Boobo. See you later. So our next owl that will be coming up will not be flying today, but Cherry will be coming over with him, and feel free to take as many photos and videos as much as you like. Just make sure your flashes are off because Zach does not like any flash on. So with Zach, even though he looks like Cherry's not holding anything, she actually is. So Zach is what we call an Indian Scops owl. So these owls, even though they are small, they are not the smallest owl in the world. These owls, or Indian Scops owls, are the largest Scops species you will ever find. So he is very big for his species. And with Indian Scops owl and Zach alone, he only weighs about 120 grams. So your phone is heavier than Zach. So Zach is very, very light. He is what we call light as a feather. So he is very, very cute, and that is why he will just sit and pretty much just sleep on Cherry's glove. So with Zach, of course, he is from India, as stated in his name, and his diet is a little bit different to Boobo's. So with Zach, believe it or not, he cannot eat young baboons, but he can eat anything of invertebrates, snakes, or mini snakes, shall I say, amphibians, and any sort of that. Pretty much anything that will fit his beak, he will be able to eat. So he doesn't have much to offer, really, because of how small he actually is. And Zach, believe it or not, he's actually older than Boobo. He is 7 years old. And when it comes to Zach, he came here as a little owlet, and he is also imprinted here as well. So going back to our myth of old wise owls, the reason why this myth came true was because of the Greek goddess Athena. The Greek goddess Athena was always represented or painted with an owl by her side. If you don't believe me, just search up the Greek goddess Athena. There will always be an owl next to her. So lots of people in Western cultures believe that this owl had to be, or this animal had to be smart if it's with a Greek goddess. But unfortunately, that's not true. However, though, when it comes to hunting-wise, owls are very smart animals. So you might have seen Boobo when he was flying, he was making no sound whatsoever. That is why we call owls silent flyers, which also makes them ambush hunters. The reason why they are silent flyers is because of the structure of their wings. The structure of their wings is like a fine serrated tooth comb, so when they are flying, all that wind is filtered from their wings and back out again, making no noise whatsoever. So it makes them excellent hunters when they are trying to eat. So when it comes to owls, when they are hunting, it is like a waiting game for them. They'll just sit up on a tree and they'll just wait. So they'll see their prey, they won't just straight away go for it, they'll just wait for the perfect opportunity for them to go out and fly and swoop and pick them up. So normally you'll be able to tell where owls are located out in the wild by just looking at their feathers pretty much. So if you look at Zach over here, he looks a bit like a tree bark. So that will normally indicate to you guys where he will be most likely to be spending most of his time. So with Zach, he will be spending most of his time up on a tree, and that makes him able to camouflage very easily. So with owls, the next and last and final myth for our owls is that all owls are nocturnal. Again, this is false. It is not true. The reason why people think this is because of cartoon shows and films. Lots of people, quite a lot of people, including myself when I was younger, thought all owls only came out during the night time. But this is physically not true, and Boobo, who was out earlier, is a good example. So Bubo, our McKinder's eagle owl, is what we call a crepuscular owl. A crepuscular owl is when they come out when the sun is setting and the sun is rising. So you can actually tell if an owl is nocturnal or not, and that is by simply looking at the colour of their eyes. It's not always true, doesn't work with all owls, but it does work with the owls here at Chessington. So if you look at the colour of their eyes, it will normally indicate to you what time they are most active. So if they have dark brown black eyes, like Zach does, that means they are a nocturnal species. If they have orange eyes, they're crepuscular like Bubo. And if they have yellow eyes, that means they are a diurnal species. A diurnal species means that they are most active during the daytime. So roughly around this time right now, you'll see our diurnal owls out now. So when it does come to our owls here at Chessington, Cherry over here is a bird keeper here at Chessington World of Adventures, and she has a very important role of weighing and feeding and maintaining our owls. So before we take the owls out for our free flight lessons, Cherry here has to make sure they are at that perfect flight weight. So if they are not at the perfect flight weight and they come out here overweight, what would happen, especially Bubo, he will not fly. He's already hungry, he's had a big breakfast, and he will just fly off instead for searching for entertainment for himself, because he doesn't want to be flying for food. But if Bubo came out here underweight, he will fly off, or before he'll fly off, he will grab all the food Cherry has to offer, then he will fly off and then search for more food. And with Bubo being a really big hungry owl, it's not really a good idea having a predator flying around searching for prey, especially when we have prey here at our zoos. So Cherry has to make sure that she has to give them the perfect amount of food so they can come out here and fly. If for whatever reason the owls are overweight or underweight, we can either add food to their diet or just take a little bit out. No harm is done there. So before we go, there are a few interesting facts about owls. So if you did have a good look at Zach, he's got little two ear tufts sticking at the top of his head. Even though they are called ear tufts, they are not his actual ears. So his ears are on the side of his head, and then two little tiny holes. So you won't be able to see them because his feathers are covering them. But those ear tufts are there to make Zach look bigger and look stronger to predators out in the wild. So if Zach was just chilling in the wild and he sees a predator nearby, he'll puff himself up, he'll widen up his eyes even more, making him look big, making him look scary, and it'll stop predators from going near him, and they'll just run away because they're really, really scared. So with owls' ears as well, they are actually asymmetrical. So they're not like ours where both ears are at the same place. One is higher than the other. So this is really good for them when they are hunting. So when they are hunting and they are listening for their prey, what they'll do is the reason why they're actually one's higher than the other, because they can actually locate where their prey animals are at. So if they hear noise from their left ear first, they know it's coming from the left hand side. If they hear it from the right ear first, they know it comes from the right hand side. But if it comes from both ears first, they know they are looking straight at it. So they are pretty much knowing constantly where their prey animals are located. And as well, Zach right now is able to censor all of our heartbeats. He can turn this off, however, if it does get annoying or if he's not interested in our heartbeats. But he's able to censor everyone's heartbeats. And if there's a heartbeat that he's in particular interested in, he will keep that on, turn all the others off. And if it's a prey animal, he'll keep it on for a really long period of time. Because he will know if the prey is getting scared, getting worried, he knows when the perfect time to hunt and eat the prey will be. So those are nice little interesting facts about owls. Well, thank you so much for coming along, everyone, to our owl show. If you've got any questions about our owls, feel free to talk to me or Cherry. If not, enjoy the rest of your day here at Chessington World of Adventures.